and that is the Florida Gators at the Kentucky Wildcats. It's down to about a point spread, 1 point spread. Kentucky at home, favored by about a point. They won last year down in the swamp. Florida has sort of been systematically running its offense consistently, all that pre-snap motion, all that Graham Mertz is sort of under control in the group. We know how good the running backs are. The defense has been a little bit better than we thought, but still has some questions. You look at what's going on with this Kentucky team, you don't really know a whole lot about them. They are one of the most efficient teams on offense in the SEC, one of the most efficient teams on defense in the SEC. Who have they played? Who have they done it against? Devin Leary threw a couple of interceptions against Vanderbilt last week. Sure, they lost to Vanderbilt the year before, so got that out of their way, got that out of their system, but it hasn't been as crisp as I think you'd like to see from a Kentucky team. And Florida's been a little bit better than expected. This is a football game that I have, Stephen, absolutely no clue what to expect. I think Kentucky has the better overall team, the better quarterback. They're at home. The coaching staff is more established. I think the defense is better. But I think this is a clear 50-50 toss-up, and I have absolutely no clue what to expect in this matchup.
And Vegas agrees with you because the spread's been hovering at a point, 2 points, 3 points all week. I think the big picture implication for me in this game is we're trying to figure out who is the second best team in the East. After Tennessee losing to Florida, is it Kentucky? Is it Florida? Is it Missouri? Is it still Tennessee? This is a pretty good data point for us to figure out kind of where these teams are, because to your point, Kentucky has played a very soft schedule up to this point, and they have not necessarily dominated like you would like to see. And needing the second half, kind of rally to put away Eastern Kentucky is not what I had in mind if I was Mark Stoops. But I think also the other interesting angle is this series. It was dominated by Florida. Kentucky's fared so much better in recent years. So the dynamics around it have changed. If you want to make the argument for Kentucky here, I think, like you said, they're at home. I think their defense is better. Also, I think maybe they haven't played their best game, but they're still winning, and they can still kind of take it up a notch when the competition goes up, including offensively with Devin Leary. I think the offensive lines in this game are going to be so crucial because Florida's got to be able to run the ball, stay on schedule, the short passing game. And if you're Kentucky, you've got to protect Devin Leary because the sacks may not be there, but he's taken too many hits. He's been pressured too often. So just a lot of unknown here. Both teams have combined for 11 turnovers this season. So keep an eye on that on Saturday. One or two of those might decide a close game.
It feels like one play, one strange bounce, one missed field goal, one doink, one bad penalty, one strip sack. It feels like one special teams flip of the field. It feels like one thing is going to change this in the fourth quarter. And I know Kentucky has not been as dominant as you'd like to see against the schedule that's pretty bad, but they have not given up 100 yards rushing in a game yet. They have not allowed more than 328 yards in any game all season. Their metrics do say that they have been very efficient on both sides of the football relative to the rest of the country and to the SEC. What I'm curious about from a chess match standpoint is Kentucky's defensive line and Mark Stoops and that defensive coaching staff trying to confuse Graham Mertz, who does feel like he's in control for the first time in like his entire career. I think some of that's that Napier's system is pretty good. It's a little slower than maybe your average 2023 college football system, but it's very precise. They know how to run the football, and I can't wait to see the offensive weapons for Florida, Pearsall and Etienne and those guys going up against that Kentucky defense. I think the crowd's going to be absolutely great. Kentucky's crowd's gotten better and better and better each year under Stoops. The stadium is a hard sellout now. It is, the facilities are there. You told me Florida wins by 2 touchdowns, wins on a last second field goal. Kentucky wins by 2 touchdowns or a last second field goal. I would be like, okay, I have no clue. I'll take Kentucky at home, but I have no clue.
Yeah, I think something to watch here, to your point on the line of scrimmage. Florida's starting center has been banged up off and on all year. He played against Tennessee. They ended up winning that game. It's pretty important to have him back in the lineup. This is a hard game to get a read on. I'd probably would lean Kentucky in a close one, but it's just between what we saw out of Florida in the opener, Tennessee, kind of where are they? Still trying to figure out where Kentucky is too. So a lot of unknowns here, but should be a good one.
Here's the only thing I'm rooting for in the game. for a Kentucky player, Ray Davis, Berrien Brown, who knows, to score a touchdown, do the Gator chomp, get a penalty, so that when we can come on the show and talk about how stupid that is next week.
Can you imagine
That's what I'm rooting for.
how Mark Stoops would explode? Like he's very underrated in his sideline yelling ability at the officials.
I think it's the dumbest rule in all of sports to penalize a team for doing a celebratory dance.
Kind of like
dumbest thing in the world.
Virginia last week getting flagged for the helmet off at the touchdown.
What do we do?
Point conversion.
Well, taking your helmet off is one thing. I mean, yes, I think you should. Taking the helmet thing off, I guess I get it. Like the horns down, taking the other teams that what? How is it not taunting when the other team does it too? Like I don't understand. If Texas scores against Kansas and a guy throws up hook 'em, isn't that taunting? Like I don't know why it's not taunting. Anyway, okay.
Football's not allowed to be fun, Brady.
It's a game. It's a game. They're kids. They're playing a game. Let's remember that. It's ridiculous. I have no clue what's going to happen in Lexington. But you know what? I do have faith in those great and amazing, wonderful folks to get up early and pound some beers.